Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Warren County Board of Supervisors meeting. Today's date is Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. It's 9:30 a.m. We're in the Warren County Board of Supervisors boardroom. Would you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first item on our roll call, please.
McIntyre.
Here.
Snell.
Here.
Peter.
Here. Okay, we do have a quorum. The first item on our agenda is the consent agenda.
I would move approval of the consent agenda, items A through, what's the last one here?
You have A.
This is just A through F as presented to us today.
Okay, I have a correction on the August 8th minutes. It would be item D. It said that we had an Indigo presentation, and that didn't happen at that meeting. It's postponed for the 12th of September.
Okay, you okay with the motion, Mark, on the
Yes.
modification
Yes.
to those minutes?
Thank you
Okay.
for noticing that.
Yeah.
Okay, second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Could we please get roll call?
McIntyre.
Aye.
Snell.
Aye.
Peter.
Aye. Okay, the consent agenda is approved. Next item on our agenda is consider the approval of the ClearGov contract with possible action. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning. So actually, I had a meeting, a virtual call with Tyler Technologies on Friday, about a 3-hour call about the upgraded financial system. And I do think that that system will help with a lot of the issues that ClearGov will help with. So I think at this point in time, we might be better off to hold off on the ClearGov part. I do still think there are pieces of ClearGov that we might want to move forward with once we get Tyler Technologies up and running. Some of their transparency pieces do look a little better and are a little more interactive for the public, but I think we're not going to really have a full sense of what we need until we move and upgrade our Tyler Technologies piece. And then I definitely do think we keep working, and I'll keep looking at ClearGov, looking at what's the best way to present our budget to the community and make it easier for our staff.
Do we have any, what are our plans to implement and execute the Tyler upgrade, and is that cost in our budget? Like
So
if we-
that was approved through ARPA. It's
Okay.
been in our budget for a couple of years now. I think since I started, it was in that first budget. And then I think it actually got approved through ARPA. So we're ready for the costs. It's just figuring out the implementation. I want to get with Matt again because it's deciding, I think he wants to move forward doing it on servers rather than in the cloud. So it's purchasing the servers and everything. We might want to have a meeting, probably maybe on the next work session or an upcoming work session with Matt to figure out how we want to move forward with this. Because it does look like a lot of pieces. This can be done, the new one can be done online anywhere. So like conservation will be able to, even before they would have the fiber. And I think that'll make entering the budget, a lot of the things that ClearGov was going to fix, this system might fix for us. So we might be able to, if we still need some of the ClearGov pieces, which I think is possible, we could piecemeal a less expensive option, because there are pieces of this that I think will take care of, like the easier, making it easier. The projections, it looks like you could do some of that. just with the financial system upgrade. So I think having a work session with Matt to figure out how we're going to implement it is definitely, and I'm waiting on quotes also to see how the expenses compare to.
What amount, do you remember the amount that we put aside for software upgrade?
I can't remember off the top of my head. 70,000 is what is sticking out, but that could be completely wrong.
I think it's way more than that. Yeah.
It might be. Yeah, and
It's hundreds of thousands.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
Like 200,000 to 300,000
Yeah,
is the number that's
Yeah.
kind of in my head.
I can't remember. But there's also pieces that we talked about, so he's gonna send us a quote of all of it, kind of the different options, I believe. So there are certain pieces that we might not want, but I just wanted to get as much information and costs from him as we could.
Well, I think if we can also focus on the transparency piece and the public interface piece, I think that'll be very helpful, because that was one of the advantages of the ClearGov.
Yep.
Which supposedly, because at the conference, you know, we had a chance to talk with the Tyler folks, which obviously now you've had a subsequent conversation with them as well. And I think that the more that we can help the public to know and to feel like they have you know, they can understand what's in the
Yep.
process, I think that's good. So I think the public interface is important. So however, either Tyler or ClearGov can help us to assist in the public interface, I think that's a
And
good.
they have a transparency piece too, so I want to see how the costs line up, because I do think that the ClearGov option looks better, but, and is a little bit more interactive. But if, you know, obviously just doing a cost comparison. And they're definitely, Tyler's definitely willing to present to you guys too. In fact, they want to, and they're excited to. Maybe not for the 3 hours that myself and Lene did, but they're definitely willing to put something. So our next step, I think, might be talking to Matt, though, first, so.
Yes.
Okay, on our next work session, let's make this a topic and let's start diving into software, best software uses and practices, and which vendor, set up some presentations and try to dive into, get more information around what the best approach will be. Fair enough?
Fair enough. All right,
All
thank
right,
you.
Thank you, Megan. Any comment from the board on software or Tyler versus ClearGov, or any other
No,
questions?
I really don't have any. You know, that's the beauty of going to the state county ISAC meetings, because you do have an opportunity to meet vendors and to sit and talk with them in a little different setting. And I think after going to the conference and having a chance to talk with Tyler, I think that actually prompted some opportunity for us here otherwise. And our staff, of course, attended the conference as well. So I think that anytime you can be exposed to more options, and we may find that, you know, through the upgrade, we may accomplish a lot of what we were thinking we needed to pay extra for.
Exactly.
So I would concur with what Megan was just saying. So appreciate that opportunity. I think educational opportunities are always good.
Yep. All right, good comments. Next item on our agenda is to receive and file reports. I'll make a motion to receive the Humane Society and Veteran Affairs reports.
Second?
Roll call, please.
McIntyre,
Aye.
Snell,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye. So that is approved. The next item on the agenda is the supervisor's report. I'll just go ahead. I guess just wanted to report on a few things going on in our county. I don't know if the public, if there's been any official announcements, but the Warren County Justice Center is completed. The books, final books, were completed a couple weeks ago, and the Warren County Justice Center did finish the project under our budget, and it finished close to on time, a couple weeks late. So ultimately, you know, we feel very good about that project and how it ended up, and it's behind us now. But there's been some stories. There's an article in the Des Moines Register at one point about a year ago that we were way over our budget, and I just want to qualm all confusion around that. And we're happy to talk to anybody about that budget and how that project went at any time. The Facilities Committee has gotten together several times. There's going to be some changes within Warren County and what we're doing with facilities, a lot of discussions around what buildings we're going to sell, if we're going to keep buildings, where some of our services and departments are going to reside. We've had a lot of discussions with our leaders, trying to get as much input as we can around what the needs are going to be in the next 1 to 5 year period. We do have 5 new board supervisors coming in at the end of next year that we're preparing office space and trying to get a handle on orientation of our offices. So all that is in the works, and more to come on that. Regarding like the auditor situation here in Warren County, there's been a lot of buzz and a lot of social media input on auditor. That is potentially behind Warren County at this point. We have a meeting at 2 o'clock this afternoon to canvass the election. Want to thank the people that ran for that office. And I'd go back to what Doug Eicholt said about 2 months ago, and that is that the auditor's race kind of happened exactly how it was supposed to happen. I, for one, thought that operationally the auditor's office could be improved. So when I voted for, and I think it's important to point out, the Board of Supervisors didn't want to make this decision. We didn't want to, we didn't drive, we need a new auditor, or, things need to change. When Tracy Vanderlinden retired, it put us in a situation where we had to act and where we had to make a decision. And so my decision at the time was based on operationally what I thought was best for Warren County. And I believe that's what my colleagues, the basis for their decision as well was operational. And I just want to make that clear, because a lot of times we read the political articles and hear the political buzz terms, but to me, this wasn't even a political process. I mean, it was a political process. I didn't make just my decisions based on politics. I made them on operations. And I just wanted to clear that up, because I've gotten a lot of comments, and I think that's important. So with that being said, we do have a Warren County communications meeting tonight. It's a joint meeting between some cities and the county, police departments and fire departments, and our volunteer departments are all kind of coming together to look at a new structure around dispatch. So I look forward to that meeting this evening. Beyond that, that's my report. Thank you.
All right, I'll go next. Okay, just for information for the board, the city of Carlisle sent me a memo, and it's from Devin Markley. It's concerning the ARPA funds that we awarded to them. They had a meeting to lay out a game plan and are moving forward to using those funds. So it's greatly appreciated, and we are to hear more about that in the future. And as a board, we toured the Madison County EMS building, and we met with their auditor to go over their finances. Then the director of EMS answered our questions, and we walked through their EMS building. I Zoomed a meeting with IndyGov that helps governments communicate with public better. Attended Hartford City Council meeting, met with the Assistant County Engineer for project updates, met with one of the co-directors for VA, met with what was called the Inter-Office Communication Team. Not sure what they're going to end up, but that was what we started out with. Met with the Weed Commissioner concerning processes, met with Zoning Director to discuss files. Our board met several times in public work sessions, special meetings, and a closed session. Attended ISAC. I became involved in our Supervisors Continuing Education Committee back in 2020. We chose the agenda and our curriculum for the Iowa Supervisors statewide. Attended Thursday and Friday sessions of ISAC conference and met with the recorder and the assessor for general updates. Thanks.
Thank you, Crystal.
Well, like others have said, we've had a very busy month here with extra meetings, EMS tours, et cetera, ISAC opportunities to get educated a little bit more on what's going on otherwise. So I've been in participation with that too. One of the things that I'm going to be following up on as a result of the ISAC meeting is the impact of local property tax legislation that's coming up here in a couple of weeks. I don't know if either of you are going there, but I'm planning to attend that to make sure that we understand better the impacts of the legislation that was passed this last year on local property tax and how that will affect our decision-making. I also serve on the MPO board on our behalf. That's Metropolitan Planning Organization. And they have had a lot of change in the last couple months. I shared a little bit in the past, but the big thing that happened this past month was that the board made a clear decision that they will be doing a regular search for a replacement of the director that is no longer there. And that was, I think, a real positive move that all the member communities and counties all agreed that that was an important thing to do. I think that as we go forward, that'll serve us well. There continues to be activity regarding the Highway 5, Highway 69, renaming as an interstate highway. That is continuing to move forward. I've got additional meetings this week that relate to that as well. So there's a lot of work behind the scenes that's going on. And it appears that all of the member communities and counties involved in that are in a positive, yes, let's keep moving forward with that renaming project. There's also an upcoming tour with the Norwalk City officials and Congresswoman Miller Meeks that is coming up, and so we'll have a chance to do a tour and see what things are going on up there in that neighborhood, and I think that'll be a real positive for all of us. The last area I'd like to address is the county auditor situation. First of all, I want to thank David Whipple for his willingness to step forward and to come into this role. As was mentioned just a moment ago, it was a decision that was thrust upon us. We felt at the time that David was the best to do that. And during his time here, he identified several areas that need attention. I would urge the following group to take note of those things. I think that David's to be commended for transparency with the recent election that took place. That was one of the great concerns that was out there, and so I want to commend you for your willingness to do the hard stuff and to really get the transparency for the election brought up to a new level. And the bottom line is, I just want to say thank you. It takes a lot of guts to step forward and take the criticism that you encountered, but I want to heap some praise on you too, because I think you did the best you could under the circumstances. I think you helped us step forward in a positive way. I hope and pray that the new folks coming in will accept the fact that there were some real positive things that you brought to our attention that need to be dealt with and can take Warren County in a positive way forward if they choose to take your advice and act on those things. So, David, I can't say enough. Thank you for your time and your willingness to step forward and do what you did.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yep, I agree. If there's nothing else on the supervisor's report, it's time now for public input. It's an opportunity for the public to come forward and speak with the board. Is there anybody from the public that would like to come forward? Our next meeting date is September 19th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. I'll make a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Second.
Roll call, please.
McIntyre?
Aye.
Snell?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye. Thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned.